that general speakers list only talks about general thing. That's why there is a moderated caucus. So just like what my explanations in the recording that I already sent you before, a caucus means a special session that will be moderated by a chair that will containing of several subtopics, total time, and also each speaker time. So once again, caucus itu adalah suatu sesi khusus yang dimana isinya adalah suatu sesi yang dimoderasi dengan adanya sub-sub topik, total time, dan each speaker time dalam bentuk mosi nantinya. Now, when we are talking about motion, that means you need to take a consideration of several things, yeah. The first one is your country's name. Delegate of France would like to propose the type of the motion, and for this case, the type of the motion is moderated caucus. The total time for 10 minutes total time and 1 minute each speaking time, and the topic then. This will be several of the consideration on how you could propose a motion in the Model United Nations. But as in accordance with the recording, why then, sorry, why then managing your total delegates and total time and speaking time could be affecting the disruptiveness of your motions? Because as you can see, just for an example, yeah, let's see, there is one delegate of Indonesia proposing moderated caucus 10-1 with the topic of environmental impact of climate change. Okay, the topic is relevant with the main topic, right? And there is a second delegate of Malaysia, proposing moderated caucus 15-1. That means there will be 15 delegates, and he or she is proposing the topic of Black Lives Matter's impact, which is not relevant. And there is also the last delegate of Brunei, who proposed MC 10-1 regarding climate change resiliencies. Now, as you can see, both of Indonesia and Brunei delegates have a relevant topic regarding climate change, but only Malaysia's delegate does not have the same relevant topic with the others. But seeing the most disruptiveness of the motion, delegate of Malaysia's motion would be voted first, because his or her motion contains 15 delegates. Because his or her motions contains a lot more delegates rather than the Indonesia and Brunei delegates. That's why, even though that the topic is not relevant, then his or her motion will be voted first. Jadi gitu. Terlepas dari topiknya nggak relevan atau nggak berhubungan sama sekali dengan topik utamanya, tetapi yang dilihat itu adalah kembali lagi ini, these three factors that we need to see: the total delegates, the total time, and also the speaking time. Maka dari itu, terlepas dari topik kalian sepenting apapun, despite of how much important your topics might be, if in regards of the most disruptiveness it is not the most disruptive one, then it would be voted later gitu loh. Kalau misalkan topik kalian sepenting apapun tapi ternyata secara disruptiveness itu tetap yang belakangan, ya berarti di vote-nya bakalan yang belakangan gitu loh. Misalkan kayak Brunei nih, kan climate change resiliency lumayan penting kan ini topiknya, tapi bakalan di vote terakhir gitu loh. Yang urutan vote-nya adalah yang pertama tuh Malaysia. Kalau mosinya Malaysia gagal, kita pindah ke mosi Indonesia. Kalau mosi Indonesia gagal, baru pindah ke mosinya Brunei. Kayak gitu. Until this point, are there any questions, guys? Do you get it what I mean regarding the disruptiveness of the motion? Apakah kalian ada pertanyaan terkait mosi-mosi ini? Gitu.
Sir, can I ask you a question?
Mhm.
Jadi kan tadi tuh ada mosi yang gagal, like example yang Malaysia tadi karena nggak relate sama main topiknya ya kan.
Mhm.
So the question is, maksudnya gagal atau enggak itu depends dari mana ya, dari vote atau dari dari mana? Maksudnya kan tadi kan juga dijelasin kalau misalnya mosi dari Indonesia yang about environmental impact of climate change, kalau dari
Mhm.
Brunei climate change juga, itu tuh kenapa bisa kayak berubah dari Brunei bisa ke Indonesia kayak gitu? Maksudnya kenapa bisa dikatakan gagal?
Oke, oke.
Oke, thank you.
Eh, Kalau misalkan Malaysia ya, just for an example that to determine whether or not Malaysia's motion pass, we will be conducting a voting. Jadi votingnya itu bakal kayak gini. So the voting will be like this. Alright, delegates, we will now vote upon Malaysia's motion. For those who are in favor with Malaysia's motion, please raise your hand. Let's just say that from total delegates, uh, total delegates 13, in favor of 5, against 8. Now, if we could see, then this means we have not achieved the simple majority, right? That means Malaysia's motion failed karena nggak menyentuh simple majority. Simple majority-nya itu adalah 7, guys. 7 itu didapat dari mana? 50% plus 1. Ya, 13 itu dibagi 50%. Kita asumsikan saja 6, tinggal ditambah 1 ya berarti 7 gitu loh. Oke, gagal. Kita bilang ini gagal. Let's just assume that Malaysia's motion failed. Now, why then Indonesia's motion will be voted first? Kenapa mosinya Indonesia yang di vote terlebih dahulu? Padahal kan tadi tuh yang di vote lebih dulu yang Malaysia duluan. Harusnya kan ini dari nomor 2 ke nomor 3 dong. Nah, dari penjelasan gue yang di YouTube, according with from my explanation in YouTube, from YouTube, Indonesia will be voted first because Indonesia is the first delegate to propose a motion compared to Brunei gitu loh. Jadi kan di sini kan urutannya Indonesia yang ngangkat mosi terlebih dahulu dari Brunei. Dan posisi motion mereka itu sama, 10 to 1 gitu. 10 minutes total time, 1 minute speaking time. They have the same format of motions. Both of this motion containing of 10 minutes total time and also 1 minute speaking time. And seeing that Indonesia's motion is the first one to be proposed, then we will be voting upon Indonesia's first. Nah, kalau misalkan mosinya Indonesia pas, kita just in case that Indonesia's motion pass, then there is no need to vote upon Brunei's motion. Jadi kalau misalkan mosinya Indonesia sudah pas terlebih dahulu, ya mosinya Brunei nggak perlu di vote lagi karena yang bakalan kita bahas nantinya adalah yang Indonesia tadi lagi aja. Kayak gitu. Berdasarkan apa? Berdasarkan voting gitu.
Oke, I see, sir. Terus kalau misalnya udah pas nih, kita udah 10 menit menjelaskan tentang topik yang dari Indonesia. Apakah ada kemungkinan untuk balik lagi ke topik Brunei? Is
Oke.
there any change with going back to Brunei's topic?
Some correction. You will not talk about the topic for 10 minutes. You like each delegate will be only talking about that topic 1 minute each delegate. So let's say Indonesia's motion. The chair will ask, delegate of Indonesia, would you like to speak first or last? Let's say Indonesia would like to speak first. Are there any delegate who would like to speak after delegate of Indonesia? Apakah ada delegasi lain yang mau berbicara setelah delegasi Indonesia? Okay, let's assume Malaysia, Brunei, Tuvalu, Vanuatu, Tonga, Toga, yada yada yada. Now each of these delegate will only have 1 minute speaking time, and there will be containing of 10 delegates or 10 speakers list in this motion gitu. Jadi ya mengingatkan kembali aja, berarti di sini cuma ada 10 speaker dan masing-masing cuma satu, bukan satu delegate 10 menit. And for the second question, are there any chance for Brunei's motion to be discussed again? Then you need to propose the motion again gitu loh. When the chairs, let's say the motion has elapsed. Thank you, Delegate of Indonesia, your motion has elapsed. Now we will go back to the formal debate. Are there any points or motions on the floor? The judge will ask again to the delegates whether or not they have any kinds of motion. So, if Brunei or the other delegate wants to talk about climate change resiliency, then you may propose this topic again by yourself. Gitu. Jadi tinggal dipropose lagi aja. Kalau misalkan sebelumnya gagal, ya apakah itu delegat Brunei atau delegat lain yang pengen ngepropose, itu dipersilahkan ketika Charles minta kalian untuk ngangkat mosinya lagi kayak gitu.
Oh, jadi bisa diminta lagi motion yang dari Brunei tadi itu nggak harus dari Brunei-nya juga, dari delegates lain juga bisa.
Yap.
Jadi gitu kan, Sir?
Betul. Yap, betul. Ada lagi pertanyaan? Any more questions?
Okay, thank you, Sir.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, just remember about this ya. Total time should be divisible by the speaking time. Total time-nya itu harus bisa dibagi dengan speaking time-nya. Peraturan utama ya. Total time must not exceed 20 minutes. Total time tidak boleh melebihi 20 menit. Speaking time tidak boleh melebihi 2 menit. So, jadi ya tinggal kalian pinter-pinter ngitung lagi aja. Total time 15 menit, speaking time 1,5 menit, berarti ada berapa speakers? Ada 10 speakers. Misalkan, total time 16 minutes, 16 minutes, and speaking time 2 minutes. That means there are 8 speakers. And so forth and so on. Okay. Now, I want several of you to propose a motion. Okay, with the condition, do not use 10 minutes total time and 1 minute speaking time. Oke, kita akan coba ini ya, propose mosi ya. Kalian boleh jadi negara apa aja, waktunya terserah kalian, asal jangan 10 menit total waktunya dan 1 menit speaking time. And you could discuss about any kind of topic that you want ya. Oke, biar kalian kebiasa aja untuk nge-propose mosi. Oke? Now, I will call the very first delegates to propose his or her motion. To the delegate of the Ajeng Amiranti, what is your motion? Halo Ajeng, kedengeran? Can you hear me? Going once, going twice, alright then. Karisa, what is your motion? Come on guys, you could be anything, anyone, and discuss about anything. Halo Karisa, this is the template ya. Delegate of Republic of Brunei would like to propose an MC or moderated caucus for 15 to 1.5 to discuss about the root causes of COVID-19. Just one example. Ayo guys, coba yuk. Go please try. Alright then. Anyone wants to
I
volunteer?
want to try.
Alright then.
Try that.
Okay,
Okay.
Yumima.
Okay. Dele- Delegate of Indonesia would like to propose a moderated caucus for 10 to 1 to discuss about gender equality impact for Human Development Index.
To Human Development Index. Thank you so much, Delegate of Indonesia. Anyone else would like to
I want
volunteer?
to try.
Alright then, Delegate of Dewi Sekarsari, what is your motion?
Delegate of Indonesia would like to propose and moderator caucus for 10 to 1 to discuss about the plastic impact on global warming.
The plastic impact on global
warming.
Alright then. Still 10 to 1. Okay, it's okay. And still Delegate of Indonesia. Alright, never mind. Alright, anyone else would like to try? Alright,
Can I try?
yes please.
Okay. Delegates of Brunei would like to propose a moderated caucus for 15 minutes total time and 1.5 minutes speaking time each with the topic of the root causes of the gender wage gap.
Root causes of the gender age gap?
Wage gap.
Oh, wage. This one?
Yes.
Alright then, thank you so much, Aisyah.
Okay.
Alright. Yumimas will be, wait a minute ya guys. Yumima will be the first motion, second will be the Dewi's motion, and the third will be Aisyah motion. Now Aisyah, I would like to ask you, from these three motion, which motion that should be voted first?
Do we have a what is it? Like a central topic or?
No. We don't have any kind of central topic.
Okay.
Just guess. It's okay.
I think it would be mine. So, mine has the most speakers.
Alright then. And who will be the second one? Whose motion will be the second one? Yumima.
She presented it. Yeah.
And then Dewi will be the last. Alright, thank you so much, Aisyah. Now guys, please do see the time ya. Aisyah motion 15 to 1.5. 10 speakers. Dewi's motion 10 speakers as well. Yumima's motion 10 speakers as well. Then why Aisyah motion should be voted first? Anyone wants to explain why Aisyah should be voted first? Sorry, why Aisyah must be voted first?
Because the time.
Alright then, thank you so much. That's correct. Because Aisyah provides us, the delegates, more time, which is 1.5 minutes. Even though that the motion containing of the same 10 speakers, but as we can see, Aisyah has a lot longer speaking time, in which makes Aisyah motions the most disruptive one. Yang akhirnya bikin mosinya Aisyah jadi lebih penting karena waktu speaking time-nya lebih lama gitu loh. Terlepas dari sama-sama mengandung 10 speaker. And after Aisyah, Yumima will be voted first, and then Dewi will be voted as the last motion. Itu pun kalau gagal. Let's just assume that during the voting, for those who are in favor with Aisyah motion, please raise your hand. And all of the delegates are raising their hand. That means Aisyah motion pass. If Aisyah motions pass, then Yumima's and Dewi's motion will not be voted because we will just move directly into Aisyah motion and talk about the root causes of the gender wage gap. That's how it works in the MUN. Gitu. Any questions? If there's no questions, are there anyone else who would like to try to raise a motion again? Anyone that wants to volunteer? Yang mau aja, silakan. Apakah ada yang mau ngangkat mosi? Going once, going twice, going thrice, seeing none. Then we could move on with the next ini ya. Right. Here are several of the tips. The motion should be simple and do not jump into another agenda directly or out of the blue. Jangan tiba-tiba masuk ke agenda lain gitu, karena bakalan ngebingungin delegates. So the motion should be easy to be understood by the other delegates so that everyone could have the chance to speak upon that motion. Please do not be redundant, and also please do give the speech based on the related motions. Now, I will show you a certain example ya. Topic. The topic is making cooking pasta or spaghetti, I suppose. Cooking spaghetti. This is how the political works in MUN. Del A propose a motion, MC 10-1, talking about pasta selection for spaghetti. Del B 10-1, sauce selection for spaghetti. Del C let's assume 10-1, just 10-1. Choosing rice. All right. Alright. The bitter fact of MUN, there is a political situation where you see that an important topic may not be discussed because the topic or even the delegate does not have enough supports from the other delegates. Now, if you're talking about cooking spaghetti, that means delegate B's and C's motion should be the most relevant one, and delegate A's would be not relevant. But But there is a certain occasion where delegate AA is really good at negotiation, is really good at persuading the other delegates. He or she may get the support from the other delegates, and then the other delegates would think that, oh, choosing sushi and snacks would be good for the topic of cooking spaghetti. That's the bitter fact of MUN. Jadi kalau misalkan delegates jago negosiasi dan pinter nge-framing, the delegates is good at framing, the delegates could convince the other delegates to choose that topic. Dia bisa meyakinkan kira-kira, oh, memilih sushi dan memilih snacks itu penting untuk cooking spaghetti gitu. Dan dia dapat dukungan itu bisa saja terjadi. Padahal kalau secara logika, apa coba gunanya sushi and snack untuk topik memasak spaghetti? Just to think about it, choosing sushi and snacks is not really that important for the topic of cooking spaghetti, right? But when the delegate A have this much supports, then it could actually happens in the MUN gitu loh. That's the bitter fact of it ya. Kenyataan pahit dari MUN itu memang seperti itu. And that's why please be active as possible on negotiating with others so that the other delegates could have this kind of confidence towards you as a delegate juga gitu loh. Karena agak percuma juga kalau misalkan delegate lain merasa ragu dengan kalian dan kayak kalian juga merasa terombang-ambing dengan topik tersebut gitu. Sama apa tadi ya? Motion should simple. Yeah. When I'm talking about motion should simple, let's just change the topic. Education during COVID-19. Delegate A's motion would be impact on online schools to student. Educational infrastructure. MS during COVID-19. As you can see, Delegate A's and Delegate B's motion would be much more understandable and to be much more supported by the other delegates because it is simple, it is to the point, and also it could be considered as the base of the debate itself. If we could talk about the educational infrastructure, then we could talk about the developing countries on how they could provide any kinds of this digital infrastructure or even any kinds of supporting infrastructure to support the inclusive education in their countries. If we're talking about impact on online school to students, we could talk about the mental health of the students and the quality of the teachers during the COVID-19 and whatsoever is that. It is that simple. But as you can see, in delegates' motion, it is there is a high tendency that the delegates, especially a beginner delegates, will not choose this motion. Why? Because delegate C already bring a specific term, MS. That's why when you are talking about something in MUN, please be structural. Try to discuss about the root causes of the problem, or even like as I said, the identification of the problem first. You do not need to bring any kind of special terms during the first debate session. Just for your information, MS is educational management information system. Jadi kalau mosi kalian lebih simple, akan lebih banyak kemungkinan untuk orang lain itu mendukung mosi kalian, dan kemungkinan untuk mosi kalian itu lolos juga lebih tinggi. There would be a high possibilities that your motion would be passed because it is simple, everyone could join and everyone understand what are you talking about. So that would be all. Until this point, once again, are there any questions? Going once, going twice, going thrice, right? If not, then one last example regarding this ya. Now, the tip is that giving speech based on the related motions. But Kauspi, what if a an irrelevant motion has passed? Bagaimana kalau misalkan mosi yang tidak nyambung ternyata lolos gitu? Let's assume that delegate A's motion pass ya. Then how could you talk about choosing sushi and snacks while actually the main topic is cooking spaghetti gitu? Jadi kalau misalkan kan peraturannya adalah tolong berikan speech sesuai dengan mosinya. Tetapi kalau misalkan mosinya sudah tidak nyambung dari awal, gimana Kak dengan topik aslinya? Apakah aku harus tidak ngomong should I not speak during this session because the motion is not relevant? The answer is no. You still need to speak. Kalian harus tetap berbicara. Caranya gimana? Caranya adalah coba arahkan agendanya ke arah yang benar. You must speak even though that the motion is irrelevant, and that's why it is your task to drive the agenda to be on track once again related to the main topic. Just one example, let's say we use Aisyah ya. This one is Aisyah. Thank you, honorable chairs, and also fellow delegates, and especially to the delegate of Aisyah for bringing these kinds of motions. We would like to consider that, yes, delegate of Aisyah, choosing sushi and snacks might be good for us because it is a really good food, and the snacks could be a complementary food for us during mealtime. But delegates, please bear in mind that our main topic is actually cooking spaghetti. And with that being said, the delegate of USP would like to suggest all of the delegates to focus on how we could determine which kind of pasta that we are going to use for cooking the spaghetti. And after that, is it necessary to add a meatballs or not to the spaghetti? And also, this delegate would like to ensure that choosing the specific sauce for the spaghetti is a very important step for this topic. And that's why delegates, even though that this motion could be a good motion, but then it is not really that good considering that our main topic is actually cooking spaghetti. We would like to invite all of the delegates to discuss about this matters. Thank you so much. Now, jadi kayak gitu ya. Kalian mencoba mengapresiasi, you appreciate the motions proposal first, and then drive the agenda as in accordance with your logic or as in accordance with your interest. Jadi kalian sesuaikan aja dengan logic kalian atau sesuai dengan interest kalian. Kalau misalkan ternyata delegates ini mosinya tidak sesuai, if you think that this delegates motion is not in accordance with your state interest, then drive the agenda. Arahkan agendanya. Kayak gitu. Any question? Any questions? Going once. Going twice. Going thrice. Seeing none? Now, let's move on into the unmoderated caucus. Okay. As you can see from the picture, everyone is moving from their table, right? Just like its name, it is unmoderated. Itu nggak dimoderasi. Kalau misalkan kan moderated caucus itu bakalan dimoderasi oleh chair. Moderated caucus would be moderated by chairs, and that's why the chair would say that, yes, delegate of Indonesia, you may speak first. Thank you, delegate of Indonesia. Delegate of Malaysia, you may speak second, and so forth and so on. The chair is moderating all of the debate. But in unmoderated caucus, the chairs will not moderate any kinds of the debate. It would be up to the delegates itself. So, for instance, delegate of Yumima would like to propose only contain total time ya, remember. Wait a minute again. Okay. Delegate of Yumima would like to propose UMC. Sorry. An unmoderated caucus for the total times of 10 minutes. Sorry. This is for MC. This is for UMC ya. As simple as this ya. Only contains total time. You do not need any kinds of topic for unmoderated caucus. Delegate of HUSP would like to propose an unmoderated caucus for 10 minutes. Oke, misalkan motionnya pas. Just for instance that the motion has passed. Dan me as the delegate of HUSP would try to talk towards the other delegates. Hey, delegate of Aisyah, I would like to ask, how do you think of choosing pasta for this topic? What do you think that a good pasta is? And also to the delegate of Yumima, I would like to ask, you bring about the topic of choosing sauce, right? Could you please elaborate the topic of choosing sauce? I would really glad to hear about that. Oke, just as free as that gitu loh. Terus misalkan Yumima and Aisyah could talk towards each other without being interrupted by the chair. And that's why during this time, during the unmoderated caucus, it is the time to negotiate with the other delegates gitu, and try to convince the other delegates on why your idea is important for this topic. Do you get it, guys? Kalian paham nggak? Atau masih bingung? Kalau misalkan bingung, tanya aja.
Sir, so in this unmoderated caucus, di situ kita bisa bikin aliansi untuk kerjasama dengan negara lain gitu.
Yes.
So, nanti gimana? Oke, so the question is, kalau misalnya kita udah buat aliansi, berarti kita udah kayak gimana ya? Udah bikin mosi kerjasama gitu. Nanti kita mau angkat mosi yang mana dengan teman-teman aliansi, or like what in unmoderated caucus. Terus aku mau nanya juga, sir, di UMC ini ada maksimal waktu juga nggak kayak di MC tadi? Kan di MC tadi kayak maksimal 20 menit, minimal 10 menit kalau nggak salah.
No, there's no minimum. There's no minimum.
Oh, oke. There's no minimum.
Okay.
So, the maksimal 20 menit kan. Nah, di UMC itu juga kayak gitu nggak?
Yes.
That's my question.
Okay, I'll try to answer the last question first ya. The maximum time of UMC would be the same, 20 minutes as well. Now, when you have already make an alliance, kalau kalian sudah punya aliansi, itu kalian gimana sih? Misalkan, hey Yumima and Aisyah, delegate of HUSP thinks that delegate of HUSP would provide the solution in regards of what kind of cooking pot that we are going to use to cook the spaghetti, and the delegate of Yumima could comes up with the solution and mechanism in regards of the sauce selection that we are going to use, and delegate of Aisyah would try to fulfill the solution in regards of the pasta that we are going to use. And we will compile all of these solutions and then we will make our own document ya gitu. Ya, jadi intinya kalian akan nge-compile, akan menggabungkan seluruh solusi yang kalian bahas di unmoderated caucus tersebut di dalam suatu dokumen nantinya. Dokumen ini nanti di pertemuan nantinya. Tapi pada intinya adalah kalian mencari seseorang yang punya goals yang sama gitu loh, dan mau bekerja sama dengan kalian untuk menyelesaikan permasalahan tersebut gitu. You need to find the other delegate that has the same goals, that are willingly to support you or even like to support each other to actually resolve the issues. That's actually like the points of negotiations. So Let's say another example ya, why negotiation is very important. Spicy sauce, crispy spicy sauce, Yumima tomato sauce. Let's just assume that okay. Let's just assume that I am the delegate of Aisyah. Hey, delegate of Huspi, why do you want to bring the spicy sauce as your main sauce in our spaghetti gitu? I do think that Yumima's tomato sauce is very much more visible, lebih layak to be used in the spaghetti rather than the spicy sauce. And I think Yumima's tomato sauce could be put in my solution, Aisyah spaghettis. Just one example. The mechanism to make the tomato sauce coming from the delegate of Yumima could be put in the names of Aisyah spaghetti special sauce. And with this Aisyah spaghetti special sauce, I believe that we could actually resolve the issues and then try to provide the council with a very good spaghetti. Kayak gitu. Maksudnya dari aku mencontohkan ini adalah ada saja misalkan delegates itu yang mau dalam tanda kutip mencuri ide kalian. There will be a lot of delegates that might have the intention to steal your ideas. As for instance, it is actually Yumima's idea to have the tomato sauce, right? Yumima have the knowledge in regards of the mechanism to make the tomato sauce. Ini Yumima yang punya mekanisme untuk bikin tomato sauce-nya. Tetapi, however, Aisyah would like this mechanism to be put under Aisyah motion. Jadi, Aisyah, kalau dengan cara dia menegosiasinya, the way she negotiates with the other delegates, she want the mechanism from Yumima to be put under the name of Aisyah spaghetti sauce. Gunanya apa? Gunanya biar delegates lain dan chair itu ngelihat kalau oh ternyata mekanismenya itu berasal dari delegates Aisyah. So that the chair and the delegates could see that oh it is actually Aisyah mechanism on making the tomato sauce. But on the other hand it is actually Yumima's mechanism. Kayak gitu. Nah, itu salah satu situasi di unmoderated caucus yang mesti kalian perhatikan lagi gitu loh. Dan maka dari itu pula di unmoderated caucus ini, in the unmoderated caucus you need to be as active as possible to justify your solution to the other delegates so that the other delegates will not steal your solution. Gitu. Is it clear enough, guys? Any more questions, especially for Yumima?
Okay, thank you, sir, for the answer and the explanation.
Okay. Anyone? Anyone else? Right. This is just a small tips once again in regards of debate management. Please use the SMART framework. When you are analyzing a certain issue, that means you also need to make this kinds of solution building. You need to ensure both top-down and also bottom-up approaches. Kalian harus menginsure lapisan atas dan lapisan bawah solusi apa yang kira-kira bisa mencakup keseluruhan gitu loh. Dari level government, dari level organisasi, sampai level rakyat. From the organizational level, from the governmental level, international community level, until the very bottom level or the grassroots level, which is individual level. You need to ensure that your solution would be inclusive enough. When we're talking about solution, we also need to map your research. Jadi gini, sama sama ketika kalian ingin bikin nasi goreng. It is the same when you are trying to make fried rice or nasi goreng. You need to show the chair and the delegates that you have all of the mechanism needed. It is not only that, okay, we fry nasi goreng and that is all. No, that is not how you make a solution in MUN. In MUN, you will specify the mechanism from choosing the right, wajan, choosing the right pan to cook the nasi goreng, to cook the rice, memilih wajan yang tepat untuk memasak nasinya, choosing the categories of the rice, memilih jenis berasnya yang untuk dimasak, choosing the brand of the soy sauce, memilih merek dari kecapnya yang akan digunakan, trying to buy all of the ingredients from the market, and then try to cook the nasi goreng with all of the ingredients, and also try to ensure that the taste is good. That is how you make a solution in MUN. All of the details should be included. Semua details yang kayak sesimpel memasukkan garam, terus mengaduk nasinya secara merata apa segala macam, kalau di dalam MUN konteksnya itu harus tetap dimasukkan, guys. Karena kalau kalian cuma bilang kayak ya kita beli nasinya digoreng, itu nggak bakalan berhasil gitu loh di MUN. Apalagi kita membicarakan soal public policies secara khusus gitu. Especially that we are talking about public policies in a very special manner, and that's why providing a general solution or a normative solution will not resolve the issue. Jadi kalau misalkan cuma nge-provide hal-hal wajar atau hal umum aja kayak oke, kita akan membantu meningkatkan kualitas pendidikan, itu nggak bakalan cukup. It is not enough. Then you need to specify how can you actually try to increase the quality education. It is not just that you will state that delegate of China would like to enhance the quality education in China. The question is how then. That is one of the questions that you need to answer. Actual facts and data. Nah, talking about facts ya. Gini. Talking about facts. You may frame the fact and data you may not lie sorry. Now, let's see the fact is Huspi Anwar's weight is 88 kilogram. Framing, Del A said Huspi is skinny. Del B said Huspi is fat. But all of the delegates may not said Huspi is 90 kilograms. Nah, the fact is that Huspi Anwar's weight is 88 kilograms. If one of you said that, oh, Huspi Anwar is very skinny compared to a person whose weight is 100 kilograms, then Huspi might be skinny then. Delegate B said that Huspi is fat comparing to a bodies of a model with only 60 kilograms in their bodies. Then Huspi might be fat, but both of these delegates may not said that Huspi is 90 kilograms because it is not the fact. But the way you said that Huspi is skinny or Huspi is fat, it is okay because it is the way you interpret the data. Itu adalah cara bagaimana kalian menginterpretasikan datanya. Kalian bilang aku kurus atau bilang aku gendut itu terserah kalian. Kalian mau pakai perspektif yang mana. Tetapi intinya kalian tidak boleh memungkiri atau mendustai faktanya kalau aku tuh 88 kg. Huspi is 88 kg. Huspi is not 90 kg. Kayak gitu. Dari sini guys, kalian ada pertanyaan nggak? Until this point, do you have any questions, especially regarding the using facts and data? No? Okay. I will try to explain why then this kinds of analogy is important. Misalkan ya, faktanya adalah negara Saudi Arabia itu membunuh atau menghukum mati semua orang yang melakukan perzinahan atau melakukan seks bebas misalkan kayak gitu. Apakah mereka melakukan pembunuhan atau menghukum mati? Benar. Tapi apakah delegate Saudi Arabia harus membahasakannya membunuh? Enggak. Bisa di framing guys. So it is a fact that Saudi Arabia is punishing all of these peoples into death who conducts the adultery. But it does not mean that the delegate of Saudi Arabia should actually say that. The delegate of Saudi Arabia could say that, thank you, honorable chairs and fellow delegates. In regards of the adultery, the Saudi Arabia has their own kind of constitution. As we are complying to the Sharia law, then we will be having a unique circumstances on how we could punish the people who conducts this adultery. And please do respect this that every nation has their own kinds of constitution and their own kinds of punishment systems. Jadi delegate of Saudi Arabia tinggal bilang aja kalau kita tuh punya konstitusi yang berbeda, dan kemudian kita memang benar menghukumnya, tapi ya udah sebut menghukum aja itu udah cukup gitu loh. Nggak perlu kita bilang kayak menghukum mati gitu. Untuk apa? For what? Why you only tell the other delegates that you only said that you only punish them and not said that punish them to death? Because you need to maintain your public image as a country. Kalian harus tetap menjaga image kalian sebagai negara, and that's why penggunaan kata, that's why the use of the phrases and also the wording that you are going to use in the speech is actually matters when you are becoming a diplomat. Gitu. And after that, when a certain delegate is actually challenging you, hey, actually Saudi Arabia is actually is killing people. How would you respond to that, delegate of Saudi Arabia? Then you as a delegate needs to have the response preparation. Kalian tinggal bilang aja itu memang sudah berdasarkan syariah law gitu loh. You could just say that it is in accordance with the syariah law, and that's all. You cannot just change our law in a moment out of the blue. You need to respect every country's law, and that would be the response for the other delegate, especially Western countries delegate kayak gitu. With all of these things, please do not forget about the time management, because many of you try to speak like too long or even like too short, and try to utilize the time as effective as possible. Now, with that being said, that is actually my last slide, and guys, please screenshot this slide ya. Please screenshot this slide for your attendance mark.
Already did.
Alright then, thank you so much. Once again, one last time, do you have any questions, guys? Apakah ada pertanyaan? Going once, going twice, going thrice. Kalau nggak ada, thank you so much for your attentions, and I'm so sorry that uh, I start the class as like 15 minutes late because of the technical issues. I'm so sorry with that, and pardon my language, whether or not that I'm speaking too fast or not really that audible, or my English is not really that good. I'm still also learning, but I hope that you all could gain all of the advantage out of it. And with that being said, good evening all. Stay safe, stay healthy, and you may leave the meeting now. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Uh,